Iowa. Today, we're in Pennsylvania, and you see the flag hanging off the mirror. You know what that means. It is oversized day. This load I picked up in eastern Pennsylvania, like pretty much, I guess you could call it New York area, if you would. But yeah, it wasn't anything crazy like that. And this is going all the way to Iowa, which is great. Like I think it's like 900 miles or something like that of oversized pay at that, which at my company is like, I think it's like 9 cents a mile extra, just for driving a little more carefully and like paying attention to permits, which, I mean, we'll get to this, but I already screwed it up twice, which is hilarious, but now I have it all figured out and squared away, and I don't know. I just missed some turns, made some weird calls on what was what turn, and yeah, it got all jacked up, so I had to stop, collect my thoughts, look at a map, and be like, okay, I need to be there, and then I'm free. I'm out of Pennsylvania, and yeah, I mean, Pennsylvania's the only permits I got right now, but there's still a lot of time left in the day, so I will probably be able to get my other permits tomorrow morning or something. I don't know. We'll see. I still got a pretty good distance to get through Pennsylvania here. So yeah, we're 10-6 wide. Pretty dang cool. But that is not the purpose of the video. I don't exactly know how to segue into this properly, but basically I have a theory in my mind that I'll explain, that someone, another driver for my company didn't exactly want to go to a certain place, and in turn he didn't go there, and then he didn't get this load, or she, it doesn't matter. Well, I just speak in he's because it's probably like he, me, I don't know, whatever. But so yeah, the load that was brought out here was my like weekend load or whatever. The one from the past video is just ceiling tiles. That's it. Picked up from the UP, and I picked them up in Indiana, around Chicago. Got a little terminal over there. And I saw, like, when I got sent the information about the load, it said, such and such place, New Jersey. And I was like, okay, like, that sucks. New Jersey is not a... If I was going to go traveling for no particular reason, I think it'd be way on the bottom of my list. New Jersey would be. It'd be way down there. Like one of the last places. Like if I really just had nothing else to do, I'd be like, I guess I'll go to New Jersey. That's what I'm saying. Place doesn't suck, but it definitely sucks enough. But what I didn't know is that this load that I brought out here was basically, it was like pretty much within spitting distance of New York. Like if you look down a map, I was like right across the river. Which is whatever. Like I'm not technically in New York, but it's still kind of New York. Like people who drive know that like within a 50 mile radius, maybe a little further than that, it's still like New York-y sort of a feel, you know what I mean? Like it just, I don't know how to explain it, but you kind of know that the suck is coming before you're there, and like it doesn't really look like you're coming up to a big city, but then, boom, you're there. You're in a bunch of traffic, and it's a waste of a day. But I don't really have a problem going to, New York, New Jersey, whatever. It doesn't matter. New England, doesn't matter. Usually I don't... Oh, I didn't like that car. Okay. But I did... Wait, what the hell was I saying? Oh my god. Lost my train of thought. yeah, I don't have a problem going to like New Jersey, New England, Connecticut, Maine, anywhere like that. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Maine and Vermont, that's kind of a different ballpark, but you get what I'm saying. Like the crowded East Coast areas. I don't really mind going there, and I kind of explained this when I was on the phone with my mom. Like, she was like, "Oh, New Jersey, that sucks." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but there's still 600 miles of just sitting on Ohio's 80 and going down the 80 in Pennsylvania, which is pretty nice, but then you have to endure the last 100 miles of suck." Like, that's really all it comes down to. And I don't know this for sure. Like, there could be a lot of different things that happen. Like, this other driver could have been like not had enough hours to make it there on time or whatever, all kinds of stuff. But like, for them, it was like a 1,300 mile load or something like that. And my theory is that they looked it up on the map to see where this place in New Jersey was and saw how close it was to New York, and they were like, no, I'm not going. Absolutely not happening. Forget about it, basically. And as I said, it totally couldn't be that way. But this kind of proves a point. Like, the load going out there, you think about it. Load going out there, 1,300 miles. Do whatever kind of math you want. Let's just call it 50 cents the mile. Just because, whatever. Flatbed stuff. That's what? $650 on the way out there. We're talking before taxes. So you got $650 on the way out there. And then you got oversized. So we'll just call it 60 cents or whatever. Boy, this is going to be complicated math. But yeah, 900 miles at 60 cents a mile is like basically $600. Again, something like that, right? Right? Left? I don't know. It's like you're basically making really good money on not a terribly large amount of miles or whatever. Like, it's only, 2,500 miles? You still got 1,000 miles left in the week, possibly. Like, if you really run like that. I don't know. Maybe not with oversized, but you get what I'm saying. And again, I don't know if this was actually the case, but if it was the case, I'm real glad that the driver turned down the load so I could get the load. Because I kind of like being oversized. It's fun. Get your flags hanging out, lights going on, all that stuff. It's pretty cool. Got all your permits and stuff. Feel real important or whatever. Even though it's just flat stock steel that's 10'6" wide. I don't know why they did that, but I don't really care. Like, I'll still haul it. Doesn't matter. And I guess that kind of brings me into why I don't mind going, certain places. There are many reasons why I do not mind going, like anywhere. It doesn't really matter. You tell me to go to Chicago, New York, Atlanta. What else? We're talking big cities. You get the picture. Any big city. I don't really mind going to any big cities because the distance between is so far. And there's still great miles, like in between, like if you picked up something in Indiana and went to New York, it's still like, 600 miles or something like that, like full day, and then you just gotta deal with that suck at the end of at the beginning of the next day, and then you're out of there. Or like maybe you aren't, but you know what I'm saying. You get my drift. Yeah, we'll get back over there. Another reason I don't mind going places that I don't really want to go is because it is my job as a professional driver to sometimes not like, what I'm doing necessarily. They always say, like, they don't call it work for no reason or something like that. Something to that effect. You get the drift. They don't call it work for no reason. And it's true. And there are loads that are just straight up fun, and that's it. Like, you're just basically going sightseeing, and that's awesome. but it's not always like that. And I mean, I don't know. It's sort of a how hard do you want your job to be thing at the end of the day, so I understand where people are coming from when they're just like, nah, I'm not going, you know, to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all that. And they just make a list of cities, and they're like, nah, I don't really want to go. Like, it doesn't really matter anything else. They just don't want to endure that last 50, 25 miles of suck. They don't want to do it. And, like, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Because a guy like me will take it. And reason number 3 is that this is not my truck. This truck right here belongs to the boss man. He pays the bill on it, and he, well, I guess he didn't directly put me in the truck to haul stuff, but in an indirect way, sort of. I'm on his payroll and his truck, so it's like I'm supposed to do the job that he tells me, like indirectly or not, whatever, you know what I mean? It's, I don't know, it's like a weird work ethic thing, and I think I talked about this before in a different video, where I was like, I kind of got to learn how to say no or whatever, but going places that I don't like isn't one of those things that I feel like I have to say no to, because it's like, not even that bad. Like, take New York, perfect example. I believe we get paid like $75 just for going close to New York. Like, I bet you I'll get New York pay just for being that close to New York like I was. I never got into the city, and the like 2 or 3 other times that I've been to New York, it's been like going to Long Island, which basically you can take a bridge that goes around the city to Long Island, but I still got New York pay just for going past New York. So I guess, I don't know. I haven't really experienced New York City, which I don't really want to, but I will do it if I gotta. Like, it doesn't really matter. You know, whatever the load is, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, just get in there and do it, because it sets you up for another load, and that's probably going somewhere else, more than likely, unless you're a local driver in New York City, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is the situation with this little oversized load. I don't know if it's the case that it got turned, or the other load was like, oh, I only want to take it to a terminal, and, you know, someone else can take it, I'll take something else, which that's fine. And then it became my responsibility or whatever. I don't know. There's so many different things that could have occurred to make that my load and then get to this load. Like, it's just a weird. I don't even know how to explain this, but it's basically just a weird turn of events that I just so happened to have gotten like a reasonably cherry load. Let me explain the day. Is woke up at 5, got to the place I was delivering at 6:30, which means that it's, you know, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So technically late, but it is what it is. I kind of forgot that New York traffic was bad like that. I didn't really realize that I was going, you know, right towards New York. I don't like to check where I'm going before I go. I just go and then figure it out. So it kind of screwed me at the end of the day, but it was a half hour late. And then that was all offloaded by 8 Central Standard. No, don't hit the brakes. Oh, this freaking guy. Ugh. You gotta deal with people merging on the highway, hitting the brakes, because they're like, oh my god, this truck's barreling down on me. I tried to let him in. If you would have hit the gas, it would have been fine, but it is what it is. Where were we? Yeah, by 8 o'clock, stuff was offloaded. Or was it 9 o'clock? No, it was 8 o'clock. And I was off and gone to Pennsylvania to pick up this. I got there whenever I got there. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. But got there, and by the time noon rolled around, everything was secured, tarped, flags up, and I just had to wait for the Pennsylvania permits to come in, and I was out of there by like 12:30 or something like that. So not a bad turn of events for being like literally within spitting distance of New York City. It didn't end up that bad. So maybe I don't know. This is just how I think about things. Is like it's not that bad for that long. Like the times that I have gone to New York City, it is kind of a full day event where you're just like stuck. Usually you're not stuck in traffic going in because you go in a little early, but then on the way out, it's like you're just kind of porked. You can't really do anything about it. You just deal with it, and it sucks a lot. But yeah, that is my deal about turning down loads and whatnot. Like even something that I wouldn't want to haul or whatever, something that I've had a bad experience with in the past. And there's a couple of things out there, or something that I'm scared to haul. Like if I don't know, like maybe if it was a less experienced driver, big old quotations, less experienced driver in the driver's seat, and they pulled up to pick up this load, they would be like, oh, like I don't know if I can do this, and they like back out. And actually that happened with my first oversized load ever. I think it was like a 70-foot beam or something like that, and the guy that showed up before me was like, no, this isn't gonna work, and he took off. And I got there and I was like, I don't know, like let's do it. It doesn't matter, like let's just see what happens. It's my first oversized load ever. I just want to do it. I think it'd be cool. And I mean, maybe I did it incorrectly or whatever, I have no idea. Like I'd still, like how I even did this load right here, I don't know if I did this one correctly, but I don't know, I'm sure I'll learn in time. Okay, that's nice, that's really nice. Okay, there, yeah, that's the right one, isn't it? Oh, gotta check the permits. Yes sir, yes ma'am, let's go. Oh, but yeah, that is the synopsis on turning down loads. I don't think it's a good practice. Granted, it's different if you're at a higher level than I am as a driver. Like if we're talking like lease operator, owner operator, whatever, it's like, yeah, you're supposed to turn down loads and be like, yeah, that doesn't work for me, or like, whatever, it just doesn't work. But as a company driver, you just take what you get. I don't know, unless it really, if you think it's gonna just jack your whole week completely up, then maybe not. Like that, 70-foot bridge beam, or, well, it wasn't a bridge beam, it was like structural, but you know what I'm saying. That 70-foot beam, he could have been like, oh, this might mess up my whole life right here, I might drop this on the highway. And he was like, I'm gonna not. And that's like a judgment call that everyone has to make at some point. I don't know. Yeah, I've been rambling for too long, so I'm gonna let y'all go live your life and all that. And I'm gonna try and stay on my permitted path, which I have not been doing that good at, but we're gonna give it the old college try, So yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye bye.